was episode 24, and to follow the last one, which was about the superpower of innovation, this one's called No Choice. Baby, you know that it happens whenever you're near. I try to ignore it, but it's very clear. So listen to my voice. Oh, sweet, I didn't have a choice. You might think this is about a love affair, but it's not. The not having a choice is about what happens when you have an idea, and you don't have a choice, you have to pursue it. That's why the song's called No Choice. So this needs a little bit of an explanation. Here's the deal. Innovators come from a population of people I call creative outliers. These are people who are creative enough that even though people tell them not to, they create anyway. And the reason this song is called No Choice is because creative people really don't have a choice. They have to create. And they have to create because it's their way of like being squared away with the universe. They create because it makes them feel good. If other people also get something out of it, well, that's a nice consequence. But I don't think most people who create are creating for other people. I think they're creating for themselves because they want to and because they have to. And that's why I called this No Choice. See, this business of innovation being a response to change, it's just a kind of glorified notion of being creative. Creative people adapt to change by doing stuff. Innovators manage to get their ideas adopted, so innovators are kind of like creators who got successful at it. They had a business model or it got adopted. But in both cases, they have no choice. Creative people are creative people, and they frequently bother everybody else who isn't, who would like them to follow the same rules that they're following with the same values and the same behaviors, because the people who aren't creative feel like us creators, we kind of rock the boat. We might change who has the power or who has the stuff or who has the fame. And those non-creative people, they are very bummed out by the idea of some creative person who may not be in charge coming along and having an idea and being creative. So that's why the song, which is really called Didn't Have a Choice, is not about not being able to have the choice for a love affair, which is also true, but we have a love affair with our ideas. creative people didn't have a choice just as much as somebody who falls in love or in lust with somebody else. We are just as much in lust with our ideas as people who are in love. And in all of those cases, we don't have a choice. And it's a good thing, because this is where tomorrow comes from. This is where relationships come from. This is where new systems come from. And at this particular moment in time, it appears that the decision makers in charge of running the world don't really have much of a clue about how to make it make sense. And they also don't really want to listen to the creative people either, because they're afraid of them. But fortunately, we don't have a choice, and we're going to create anyway. And from some of the things we do, tomorrow will emerge, much to the chagrin of the people who think they're in charge right now, who will probably not remain in charge for very long. That's why I go, baby, you do. That's about not having a choice. I try to ignore it, but it's very clear. So listen to my voice, 'cause we didn't have a choice.